another edition of News Review brought to you by Wisdom Yard Television. I am Odunwayo Adelere. And with me in the studio this morning,
I'm Ambassador Rochimorilo, son of the prophetess, the man who resembles wicked. Please keep on watching WYTV.
Thank you for joining me in the studio this morning. We want to appreciate all our viewers out there. We're always staying glued and always staying tuned to WYTV. And also our sponsor, Nokpa Abals. Nokpa Abals this with Nokpa Aba mixture, Aba cool, Aba tonic, Aba bitters, Aba flusher powder, Aba energy powder. Whichever you need, you can send a DM or call the number 07010108549. You can also be a sponsor for any of the programs showing on WYTV. And don't forget, we're on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, on YouTube, on X account, on TikTok, on YouTube at Wisdom Yard Online TV. You know how we do it on this show. We bring to you news that made it to the top. We go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll rub minds together by discussing the one we want to discuss. But surprisingly, we will not be the only one talking. You can as well drop your own comments in the comment section. Let's rub minds together. Let's know your view and you know our view as well. On Punch newspaper this morning, we have federal government governors reach 3-month agreement on local government allocations. Marketers project 600 naira per litre for Dangote Petrol. Food prices soar in Kaduna after hunger protests. On Vanguard newspaper, we have distress as harsh economic forces shut down of over 50 firms. Mohbad's family kicks against anniversary event for late singer. Aftermath of hunger protests, prices of cooking gas, food items soar in Kaduna. On Daily Post newspaper, we have Port Harcourt refinery kicks off a done deal, marketers. NIN enrollment hits 109 million naira, Nigerian government. End bad governance protest, Kano police prosecute 600 out of 873 suspects. These are the news that made it to the top. Today, let's go on a short commercial break to our sponsor. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stop. Don't go nowhere, stay tuned, we'll be right back.
When life breaks into the beautiful splendor of nature, and the kids can't just resist the temptation to explore to its zenith with the full assurance that the perfect backup is on the way for a perfect refilling. Nokpa, we always come to the rescue anytime, anywhere, any day, anyway, anyhow, round the clock. The family just can't get a better companion aside Nokpa. Nokpa Aba mixture, the family's best bet.
With Nokpa, healthy living is guaranteed for me and my family.
Nokpa for management of power.
You're welcome back from that short commercial break. That is our sponsor, Nokpa Abals. Remember, adorn your health with Abal. Health is wealth. So the first one here says, marketers project 600 naira per litre for Dangote Petrol. Petrol has not been made available to you.
Nigeria, my country.
You're already projecting the amount it should be sold.
When the president first came in, when he announced the first subsidy
is gone.
How much was the petrol price? 500.
500.
Refine and bring back
to the country
with some certain amount of money.
Yeah.
That is why they arrived at the petrol price then was 500 naira to 600 naira. Now the crude oil
is in Nigeria.
that we survive in Nigeria here, given to Dangote directly, it is not taken out of the country.
There is no exchange.
There's no exchange. Marketers are now coming out now to tell Dangote this is the amount of money, this is the amount of price that you are going to sell the petrol price. They don't even project 300 now to 400, even 300 now to Dangote. Now, automatically, if the refinery starts working now, they may say they are going to sell it for 600 or 700 naira. Why we have the crude oil in Nigeria here?
Independent petroleum marketers in Nigeria are hoping that Dangote Petroleum Refinery will sell its premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, at 600 naira or 650 naira per litre when it is finally released into the market. Dealers under the aegis of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria said they believe that the Dangote refinery will crash the price of petrol as it did with diesel. You are saying Dangote's price. We still have some filling station in Nigeria that sells for 600, 650.
Yes. No.
We still have
For 600, you are talking about the PMS.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
And I'm not talking about diesel. I'm talking about petrol.
I thought you are talking about the
600, 650. Now,
yes, we have
being brought in from outside the country.
Brought into the country.
Now sold in Nigeria. You are still saying 600, 650.
In fact, you could see that this set of people doesn't mean well for the masses. The president of the Federal Republic, I don't believe the president is active. If the president is active, I believe the president would have come out to object that proposal from the NNPC to Dangote refinery. Why we have the crude oil? There's an adage when the president was campaigning then. Okay. That
so your child cannot have robotic and put the beat in another person's child.
So why would we have something here in Nigeria that rightfully belongs to us and we still buy at an higher cost?
If we were to check the countries with higher degree of crude oil in the whole world, I think Nigeria should be at least top 10, one of the 10 countries.
I work for the future of this country.
We have the saying that they say
all these old cargos, permit me to use that language, with the way all these old cargos are ruining the affairs of the country. Not ruining the affairs of this country.
We have a saying that they say we have something at home. This is an adage that says you cannot have an O and still use your hands to pack pieces.
Yes.
Nigeria, how exactly did we get here?
I don't know when they got to arrive at this price of proposing to Dangote. You are not talking of 150. You are not talking of 200.
You are not even talking of 300 naira.
Oh God.
IPMAN National Vice President Ahmed Fashola told correspondents in an interview on Monday that the $20 billion refinery would bring down the cost of fuel if it gets the needed support, especially as it has to do with crude supply. According to him, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, which is the sole importer of PMS, has been selling to marketers at 570 naira per litre. But most IPMAN members buy from private depot owners at 700 naira and above. Why is it like that?
I don't know.
NNPCL sells for 570. And you still leave the one that you purchase at 570 and go to buy 700 naira. To bring it to with the poor masses to buy 1,200 naira.
How did we arrive to this? How did we arrive to this in this country? You can see that the country is in totally mess. APC government, they are nothing. In fact, the most worst government that has been ruling the affairs of this country, the most worst government we have ever had in the history of Africa, in the history of Nigeria, is the so-called APC.
We are marketers, we go for the best. We are buying from the NNPC, but if the opportunity of Dangote comes and the price is favorable, we will grab it. It depends on the price. The official price from the NNPC is around 570 per litre, but the third parties, the private depot, sell PMS to most of our members at 700 naira and above.
Why don't they go
plus or minus? We hope Dangote can sell between 600 and 650. 600 naira is still okay. However, it depends on the cost of the production from Dangote's end. We have to be factual and sincere to ourselves. The NNPC we are talking about as an element of subsidy, or what they now call under recovery. I think something is hidden there, Fashola stated. I don't just know when we will come out of this dreaming, our dreamland. Because something that want to, made in Nigeria, not made in China, not made in UK, not made in Canada, direct in Nigeria, not taken to another country for processing.
How much is NNPC selling? The ones that they are bringing, they will take the crude oil out from the country, down there, bring it back. 570. NNPC is selling for 570.
The one we want to do here.
Are they not telling us that 570, the one they want to do here, they are proposing 600 naira. So what is the excess? What's the excess of having the crude oil, the refinery? What's the excess of building the refinery?
This stress has harsh economy forces shut down over 50 firms. We are still going, they are still counting. 50 firms are shut down already. We don't know the numbers that are still going to add to the 50 yet.
You're talking about the next item.
Yes.
You know, I told you that, let me tell you this. Truly, I usually say on my program that don't put a Nigeria matter on that.
If you put Nigeria matter on your head, you'll buy.
There are some things that you still need to think.
Put on your head.
And wave off. Because an average man that wakes up in the morning, let me tell you this, that goes to the kitchen, look around, nothing
eat.
nothing for the family to eat that very day. Are you telling me that man will not
Put Nigeria matter on his head?
Then the man that goes to the kitchen that finds nothing in the kitchen, would the man think of buying a house or buying a land?
It is the person that eats that will think of doing all that.
The person with first things was, how am I going to put food
on the table
for my children? And when you look at the 6th term now, with what I'm saying and with what I foresee, go and write it down. The so-called president, the present president of this country, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do you know what he's trying to do? He was trying to inject poverty into the 6th term.
That is it. That is
into the average Nigerians that are out there. It's only the rich that will get richer, the poor will be poorer. To the extent in which the poor man's children will not be able to have access to education.
He's talking about free loan for students. Now, if the students successfully, they get the loan, and at the end of the day, they come out of school and there is no job. How are they going to pay back the loan?
Let us go back there. How many students are they going to get those loans from? Do you know how many students that are enrolling every blessed day, that are gaining an admission into the university? How many children are this going to? When Buhari was there, when they are talking about this cashless policy, we are changing of money. Do you know why we are here queuing at the bank?
Yeah.
There are some places in the northern side, the village, in the northern side, in the northern part of the country, where we have villagers there, which they took the civilian bus from the CBN directly to the village
and started sharing.
And started changing. Then, so when you not talk about people gaining access to the student loan scheme, how many students are going to benefit from this? Now, if a poor man's children were unable to have access to education, the next thing is go and learn how to trade or go and learn how to become an artisan. And their children that they're sending out
of the country
to go and study abroad, they will still come back home to come and be the governor, to be the senator, to be the president of the country, directing the affairs of those poor man children that we are unable to gain access to. That is the system that I see in this so-called Tinubu system.
I just wish these people would just say, okay, let's use 1 month. Let us taste what these poor masses are tasting just for 1 month. And they will know that the poor masses are actually going through a lot.
You think this set of people can think to that extent? The set of people that their aim and objective is so high in the area of corruption, now they are going to embezzle money because they believe it is their turn. The table has come, the table has turned to them. Akpabio, you heard what Akpabio said. You go out on protest while
we will sit down
and be eating. That Akpabio, for God's sake. If a Kere Madu knew
that this is what will be his end,
that he will land in the prison,
not even in Nigeria.
Not even in Nigeria, I believe he would have built a well-equipped hospital in his own village where kidney transplant will be made, that his people can benefit from. So Akpabio, keep on doing it and keep on saying the rubbish that you are saying.
Your turn is coming.
Your turn is coming, don't worry.
Over 50 firms in the chemical and non-metallic products subsector of the nation's economy are in the dilemma as multinationals, medium and small-scale enterprises, SMEs, and member companies are either exiting, on the verge of shutting down, or operating at low capacity utilization. It will be recalled that the employers under the umbrella of the Chemical and Non-Metallic Product Employers Federation, CAMFER, has a membership strength of no fewer than 100 firms, comprising multinationals, medium and small businesses which employ about 350,000 people across the country. But presently, Vanguard checks reveal that while over 50 of such companies have closed down, 4 are on the verge of shutting down, while 80% of the remaining companies are operating at low capacity utilization. Industry sources told Vanguard that over 100,000 workers have lost their job directly and indirectly last year. The firm in this sector produce medicals, pharmaceuticals, perfumes, cosmetics, toiletries, soaps, detergents and vegetable oil, cement, aceto cement and concrete. Other products include glass, ceramics, earthenware, clay products, basic industrial organic and inorganic chemicals, fertilizers, explosive fireworks, footwear, leathers and rubbers. According to Vanguard checks, among the companies that have shut down are GlaxoSmithKline Beckham, Procter & Gamble, Mega Plastic Nigeria Limited, Twin Star Nigeria Limited, and Femina Hygienical Product Nigeria Limited, and Linda Manufacturing Company. These are the companies that are closed up, and some are still coming up. Before we continue,
man, the president of the country, said he's building the future for the country. Many companies are folding up. Many people are being jobless. Each day that passes by, most of the housewives today have turned to another thing else. Don't let me mention. We all know what is going on in the country. Most of the men were unable to put food on the table. Even the Okada riders. Go to Ogun State. Go and see what they are doing to them in Ogun State. When you go to Ogun State now, I believe that we are still coming to that, because we are still going to go to Ogun State to go and interview most of the Okada men. A single ticket for a single day in Ogun State is 800 naira. When you go to Akure Ondo State, in Akure Ondo State was just 200 naira per each day. Go to Osun State, it was just 100 naira. Exactly. How did we arrive to that?
I think something is skeptical about that, Ogun State. But when we come back, we'll talk more on what you just said. Let's go on a short commercial break to our sponsor. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stopped. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Sweetheart. I can't afford to be late for this meeting.
Give me the same excuse every day.
I always tell you the truth every... You know I will never disappoint you.
Everyone needs a hero like Nokpa.
After Nokpa,
It is always Nokpa.
Nokpa for management of power.
Yeah, welcome back from that short commercial break. So before we went on that short commercial break, I was saying there is something skeptical about this Ogun State of a thing. Though it is not in the news, but since it came up, we can just discuss it. There is nothing, as far as I've heard from Ogun State, there is nothing that actually goes up in Ogun State that comes back.
That's to show the kind of leader they have in Ogun State.
It's so bad to that extent.
A full-grown man that has children at home that was thinking of what their children... Do you know how many graduates that are riding Okada today?
Many.
That is not from their wish. Since they pass out, they are unable to... Since they graduated, they are unable to...
And they cannot steal.
They cannot commenter. You still have to bring the ticket to 800 naira. How many passengers will they pick? How are things going to come down?
We have even come to a point in Nigeria whereby instead of me taking Okada or anything, I will just say, I can check it.
I can track, yes. Exactly.
I will just use out of the money,
because
use and buy pure water.
The victimization is getting too much. Each day that passes by, the more the day that passes by, the more the affliction that has been inflicted in the life of the masses. What is the president doing? Now, before the protest, within 3 days, 3 days before the protest, they were running a task, holding meetings upon meeting that, don't worry, within the next 6 months, there won't be any duty payment on importation of food. Who did they give the license to import rice? Why don't they open the border and let this food comes in, and the prices of food will be crashed down? Automatically, somebody was given the license to import those foods. Who is that person in particular?
Still on that food stuff, we have food prices soar in Kaduna after hunger protest.
After hunger protest, that is where we have found ourselves. The president said he's addressing the issue. He's doing everything that he knows depends on the people.
I beg to disagree with what you said. The president is not doing anything.
I said the president said
he did, because
he's addressing the issue. Until now,
everything he said,
no issue has been addressed.
Of everything he said on Sunday,
nothing was done.
There was nothing that was said from him that gave
the masses hope.
We don't even have any hope. Should I say we don't have hope in what the president is even going to do?
A lot of people came out to say, the president did not address the issue on ground. He was
just telling us his achievement
is beating around the bush. What is the achievement? What is the achievement to see?
He was proud to say it. We have loan scheme for students.
What is the loan scheme? When did they start the loan scheme? How many people? Let those people that have benefited from the loan scheme, let them come out and say to the whole Nigeria that we are part of those people that except the person that, except the set of people that they will still gather again and pay them to come on camera and say, oh, we have been the one to benefit. The way they brought people anti-protest against those people that are protesting peacefully,
at the end of the
promising them that they're going to give them 5,000 naira. That set of money that you have set aside to channel to the anti-protester, why don't you channel those money to the right channel that will make things easy for the poor man in the country?
In the aftermath of the recent nationwide hunger protest, the prices of cooking gas and food items have skyrocketed in Kaduna. Prices of goods such as provisions, grains, and other staple food items are rising steadily in markets and shops across the border. Checks by a news agency of Nigeria's correspondent on Monday in Kaduna show that the price of food items like rice, beans, yam, gari, that's cassava flake, and noodles had gone up about the 4th time in 2024 alone, and this is the 8th month in year 2024. For instance, a kilogram of cooking gas, which was selling for between 1,001 to 1,250 in July, now goes for 1,400 naira at some gas stations within the Kaduna metropolis. At the Sheikh Abubakar Gumi Market, Kaduna Central Market, a 50 kg bag of foreign rice, which was sold for about 79,000 naira before the protest, was now being sold for between 86,000 naira and 90,000 naira. Also, yams, which only a few weeks ago were sold for 5,000 naira per tuber, now goes for 7,000 naira per tuber and 28,000 naira for set of 5. A local measure of 8 cups of beans previously sold for between 2,000 naira and 2,500 naira now sells for 3,500 naira, while a measure of gari, previously 1,300 naira, was now being sold for between 1,500 naira.
That's a welcome idea, and it's a good idea. Under the watch of
one
the
of the person
APC.
that was spoken to, the person that spoke to the news agency said, before they went on the protest, most of their foodstuffs were finished. So when they came back after the protest, they needed to restock their shop, all for them to get to the market and say that prices are times three of what they bought before they went on the protest.
Let me tell you this. There is an adage of Yoruba that says, 10 kings, 10 decades.
Okay.
So whatever you do will also be in your own record.
Obviously.
If Atiku comes out to talk today, they will say he's an opposition.
Because he's not in the same party with him.
If Peter Obi comes out to talk, they will say he's
not
not
in
because
the same party.
And when this guy, I think Keyamo, Festus Keyamo, when he came out, was it Festus Keyamo, the man in the Senate that was being that attacked Tinubu, that Tinubu is being caged.
Ndume.
Ndume. When Ndume came out, I believe Ndume we are in the same party together.
They are in the same party.
Speaking nothing but the
truth. What was done to him?
He was attacked. That how come would they speak against the policy of the president? The policy that has brought pain to the whole country.
You see that red chamber?
Injected pain into the whole country.
Sir, you see that red chamber? I think it is just a place where you shouldn't even open your mouth to say the truth because of the person sitting as the president in that house. That is Godswill Akpabio.
That's the Senate House. That's the blue chamber.
Which one is the red chamber?
The red chamber is the House of Reps.